Okay, good morning. So we were in the module 4 and we have discussed this topic till date. We have discussed on associated IoT technologies where we have discussed cloud computing, its introduction. Then we have also completed virtualization. We also have completed cloud models. And in the previous class, we have discussed on service level agreement in cloud computing. Okay. Now we are left out with the two topics in this module with respect to IoT case studies as well. We have to do cloud implementation and sensor cloud. So these are the two concepts which is there for your now for this module to be completed. So we'll be doing today cloud implementation. Before to that, in virtualization, one small concept is left out that we will be doing it now. Okay. So we will go back to that. So in the previous class, we have discussed on advantages of end users. What are the advantages of end users? Variety, then availability, then portability and elasticity. We have also discussed on advantages of CSP. So what is that? We have seen that resource utilization as well as effective revenue generation. So these things we have done. So continuation of that, types of visualization. What are the different types of visualization? So you can say based on the requirement of the user, they can be categorized as the four types. One is hardware virtualization, then storage virtualization, application virtualization as well as desktop virtualization. So this is one thing which we'll be discussing now. So virtualization based on the requirement of the user, you can classify as first one is hardware virtualization. What is hardware virtualization? What is hardware virtualization? So you can say that virtualization indicates the sharing of hardware resources. So means you are sharing the hardware resources, then you call it as a hardware virtualization. You know that you'll be sharing some part of RAM or you'll be sharing some part of memory capacity and all those things. Those things you call it as hardware with virtualization, indicates the sharing of hardware resources. Example is single processor appears as many different processors in the cloud. So what you can say, one processor, what it is there, it appears as many different processors in the cloud. For example, now Rakshit is using one set of hardware for his application and Brain is using another set of things for his hardware, or Chandra is using some other set of things. He is using some other set of hardware. So it keeps on going, isn't it? There are different ways you can split it and take it. So that is what the single processor appears as many different processors for the different users. Okay. Then different operating system can be installed in this processor and each of them can work as a standalone machine. So you can make it as a standalone machine and you can use it. So this is the first one, hardware virtualization. So the next one is what? Storage. So you can just make note of some points and we will go into the next one, storage. So what you understand from types of virtualization. We have hardware, storage, application, and desktop. We have seen the hardware virtualization. Now we'll go on to the storage virtualization. In storage, what is there? Storage of, so we'll see that. So we'll see the storage virtualization. What you can say, storage virtualization is the storage space, which you need some space to store the information. So storage space from different entities and accumulated seems like a single storage location. So you feel like it is a single storage location where you will store your information, some Word file or PDF, PPT, then any voice message, anything you can save it, or you will save some software, or you will save some programs, codes, everything. So you need some storage space. The user documents or files exit in the different locations can be distributed, and you can make sure that you place those in the right place where you are really need of it. Okay. So you take from that, you keep it, you store all your files there, storage location. You take when and when it is required for you. Whenever it is required for you, you take from the location and use it. So it can be a code, it can be a software, it can be files, it can be anything, whatever you want, you can use it for that. The user are under the impression that they have a single storage space provided to them. What we will feel, the cloud is having lot of storage space. Okay, so based on your requirement, it will be allocating some storage space for you. But what user store the information or store the data. But how it will be, your storage space will be here, your the other will be here. So it will be of entirely they are using the resource and they are splitting and giving it to you. But what will be your when see as a end user, what you feel we are having sufficient space to store the information. So you can see that. If you are storing in YouTube and all, you can put hours together video and you can store it there. If you are using mail and all, you how much GB they give you? So 10 to some of 10 to 15 GB is what you get it for free. Even has upgraded that. Not yet. No requirement of more than that. Okay, fine. So those things can be done. Okay. Then what is application virtualization? See what we are doing. See the era of increasing your hardware space in your laptop is not that good opinion. Instead of that, you can purchase the space wherever so that it's user friendly for you. Wherever you go, you can use it. Whichever laptop you use, you can use that. So if, instead of configuring your device, you can take the space from the cloud as well. Okay. So if you are running any application, so you have application virtualization. Single application is stored at the cloud end. So you can store the application in the cloud end. And what you can see, application of his or her computer without ever actually installing the application. So you are not installing anything in your device. You will not be installing anything in your device, but in the cloud you will be running the application whatever it is required for you. And you can say that the user gets the impression that the applications are stored and executed. So what do you feel? See, let us take an example. Now you are running one of the applications like MATLAB or MS2. So what when you are using the cloud environment, what you feel like? Okay, fine. You feel like you are able to use those applications without any disturbance. Or you are not configuring your computer for all the requirements. So you are just using the cloud space and you are using the application as and when it is required for you. So desktop virtualization is what? What is desktop virtualization? Allows the users to access the and utilize the services on the desktop. Okay, and can use the desktop from their local desktop. So these are the four different things. First one is hardware virtualization. Second one is storage virtualization. Third one is application virtualization as well as desktop virtualization. So this is what all about that we have to understand. So we have gone through all these topics now. In the previous class, you have also discussed on these concepts as well. So we have completed introduction, virtualization, cloud models as service level agreements in cloud computing. So what is left out for us now? These things were discussed in the previous class, right? So now we are left out with cloud implementation. So you can just note down the next topic, cloud implementation. So what do you mean by cloud implementation? See, as you know that IoT is drastically like today you have, for example, today you have 100 ponds in that same locality. If you keep 1 year, you will be having 200. Today you have 100 devices in this one particular. Improving. It's the technology is improving, the knowledge sharing is improving, the data sharing is improving, all these things are happening. So there is a drastic development in the IoT infrastructure, and which requires the cloud computing is also, it demands for a better cloud infrastructure to be presented in front of them so that the user can be user friendly, it can be utilized at the best extent. Okay, so that is very important. So what you need to have, you will be having a real time, real deployment of cloud in a complex environment, and which can be a bit costly. So you can see that some of the cases it will be slightly costly because the deployment will be difficult. Okay. So then you can say that the requirement of simulating and through the simulator. So it is very important to pass through it. So there is a requirement for simulating the system through a cloud simulator. So we need a cloud simulator, and we need to make sure that it is passed through the cloud simulator before it is real time implemented. So we need to know that different simulators through which it has to pass through. So what will happen? The cloud simulator that provides the deployed test services and performs the evaluation. So what you do when you have a simulator? What you do when you have many simulators, no? What is the functionality of a simulator? Yeah, it will say that okay, fine. If you are deploying 100 nodes and you do the simulation, what is the working scenario when you real time implement it? How it will look like? Simulator means what? Now, for example, you have 100 nodes to be implemented. Okay, you use NS2 software. You use MATLAB. You know MATLAB. You use MATLAB. You will get you put it in a simulation environment. Simulation environment means you make sure that instead of developing the entire hardware, you will run it in the simulation environment and make sure that what is the performance it is going to give when you implement in the hardware. So you might have seen CAD drawing and all, no? You have seen, right? 3D model development and all. Are they directly making the 3D model? No. Before that, they draw it in the computer, they see all the visualization, they do it, they check whether how it looks like, then they go for implementing. When you do the home construction and what, directly they construct the home? No. They draw the plan and they find the errors and all. Similarly, you need to pass through a cloud also. When you are implementing in a cloud environment, you need to pass through a simulator to check whether it is going to have the proper functionality or it is going to serve for you as and when it is required for you. Whether it is going to give you the best performance as and when you do it in the real time implementation. So you need to make sure that the cloud simulator provides a pre-deployment test services. So that is very important. So what you have, the cloud simulator provides the following advantages to the customer. So this is the advantages what it will give. What are the advantages it will give? When you are passing through a simulator, what are the advantages it will give? First one is what? Pre-deployment test before the real implementation. It will give you, you can test it. You can make sure that if you do this process, whether you are going to get the proper results or not. You are going to test it before you implement it. So it is pre-deployment test you are going to do. What is the next one? System testing at no cost. See, when you are doing the simulation, are you investing in anything? No, you are doing it without any investment. So once you do it, you understand that okay, this much resources is required to satisfy 100 users. These are the configurations required. These are the implementation to be done. So you complete scenario you simulate it and check whether it is going to be possible in the real time scenario. Then for system testing and all, there is no need of any cost involved. Is there any need of any cost? No cost is involved in it. Then what is that? Repeatable evaluation of the system. So once you test it, you find there is some changes to be done. You do those changes. Again you test it. So how many times you can do? N number of times. There is no restriction that or there is no problem to do it any number of times because you can add some of the components, you can remove some of the components, you can check that how it performs and all that. So it is user friendly and you can say that okay, this is what you can do it n number of times. You do it first time, you find there is some more changes. If you do it, performance is better. You can add those things and do it once again. So nobody is going to stop you there. Then what is the next one? So it can be repeatedly evaluated. So no problem. That is one of the good advantage. And then you can say that pre-detection of issue that may affect the system performance. So anything which affects the system performance can be also considered, and you can look into that, stating that this has to be kept or this has to be removed, or you have to enhance the system performance. Everything can be taken care with the help of a simulation environment. And what is the next one? Flexibility to control the environment. Once you do it in the hardware, is it flexible to do the changes? It is not flexible. See, before implementing the hardware, you can make sure that what you will get an entire clear understanding of how your environment has to be set. Okay, so all those clarity you will get with the help of simulation process. So flexibility to control the environment. So you will get the flexibility how you want to control, whether you want to add, delete, you want to increase the configuration, whatever you want to do it, you can make sure that all these things can be checked. Have you worked on any of the simulators before?
Yes, sir.
Not on cloud simulators, other than that, some simulators you have worked, right? So what you can see those, you can case, you can do that, you can run the simulator. So all those things are possible. So you get an idea of what needs to be done in the real-time scenario. So these are some of the advantages. What are the different types of cloud simulators available? We will be seeing in the next slide. So you can just note down those points and we will go on to the next one. So do you anyone of you know that what are the different cloud simulators available? So what are the different cloud simulators available? Yeah, you have seen right in the last class also. So what are the different cloud simulators available is Cloud Sim, Cloud Analyst, and Green Cloud. So we'll be studying all these three in detail. So have you discussed anything in this aspect? No, sir. So we'll be discussing each in detail: Cloud Sim, Cloud Analyst, as well as Green Cloud. So first one is Cloud Sim. So what the small thing, this is that what you have to do. You have to understand these three and try to see the cloud sim how it looks like, simulator tool, and these three tools. Okay. Those you can just go through these things and try to understand what how the cloud sim functionality is, cloud analyst and green cloud. We will be seeing that. First one is cloud sim. What is cloud sim? Have you ever heard about it? Any one of you? No. So cloud sim is one of the popular existing cloud simulator platform which is used in the University of Melbourne. So they might have they are using this cloud simulator and they are trying to check how the functionality is all about. This simulator is written basically in Java based environment, and you can say that the user is allowed to add or remove the resources diplomatically during the simulation. That's what the main purpose of the simulator is all about. You want to set up the infrastructure, you will add some of the devices and you see that okay, you make sure that different configurations will be there. You see that you are adding that, you feel like it is going beyond the requirement, you have to then remove it. Or when you are doing it, the simulation process, it is not happening, your performance is not coming as per your requirement, your performance is going down, you have to do the modification. If your performance is comparatively better than the existing thing, so all those analytic and analysis, design, process, everything you have to think and you have to place those things in the simulator and you need to run the simulator to check whether the functionality is working fine. And the best process, whatever it is satisfying the user, need to be taken into consideration. Okay. So these are the features. Cloud Simulator provides the cloud computing data center with different data centers, network topologies. Also, you can say that virtualization of server host can be done here. Allocation of virtual machine. So the virtual machine allocation can be taken care dynamically. Allows to define their own policies and allocation of those resources. So, what are the policies? What are the rules and regulations to be set? Those things can be taken into consideration. Then you can say that flexible to add and remove the simulation components. So that is one a very huge advantage in a simulator. You are flexible to add, remove any of the components, and the user can stop and resume the simulation at any instant of time. So you can say that you can run the simulation and check whether the environment works properly for the user or not. So everything nowadays what we do is we run through the simulator. Now, for example, any lab you do it. For any hardware lab also, you can run through the simulator and you can check whether the output is coming. You know you have run the mini project. So mini project also there are many simulators where the Arduino is available. You can just run it and check whether your output is coming, and then you can implement in the real time hardware. So that is what these are the features which the cloud sim offers, like flexibility to add and remove, then stop and resume the simulation. You can able to allocate virtual machine to that. So many options are possible, and you can. These are all Java-based environment where you are running all these processes. So what are the other two? Next one is cloud analyst, isn't it? What is cloud analyst? See, this is based on the cloud sim. So we have seen the first one is cloud sim. So what are the features? It is the Java based environment and all those things we have seen. These are the features of cloud sim. Also we have seen. The now next one is cloud analyst. Analyst means what? It is based on the cloud sim only. What it is going to do, the simulator provides a graphical user interface for simulating the cloud environment. So it will give a graphical user interface, and this cloud analyst will give a GUI interface for the analysis process. And you can also say that used for simulating large scale cloud applications. See, where you are going for a large scale cloud applications, you go for cloud analyst as well, along with cloud sim. So see, so you can say that cloud based on the cloud sim only is then it's going to support along with the cloud sim, provided you are going to have a you have provides graphical user interface as well as it is used for large scale cloud applications wherever it is required. So what are the features for that? Why cloud analysis is required? Why cloud analysis is required? Yeah, it is easy to use due to presence of graphical user interface, and you can add components and provide flexibility for high level configurations, as well as you can perform experiments conducting different parameters values. See, basically it provides a graphical output including charts, tables and all those things. For example, now you run the simulation process and you need to know that what is the performance of the entire environment. So you can give the graphical representation or you can have charts also. So it gives a graphical user interface. Okay, so that is one thing you can say. And it also has the users the add the components and you can remove the components and provide the flexibility for high level configurations and all those things. So what is the next one? Green cloud. So what is green cloud? Okay, you can just see here. Here, what is that in this? What you understood from cloud analysis? It provides a graphical user interface, as well as you can say that it gives you chart view as well as graph view and all those things. It helps you to do the complex process of analysis, as well as you can say that it allows the users to add the components and provide the flexibility. All these things are possible with cloud analysis. What is the next one? Green cloud. So we'll see green cloud. So what is green cloud? So green cloud is developed as an extension of packet level network simulator NS2. Okay. So the simulator can monitor the energy consumption. See, when you are having the process now, energy also plays a major role. So the green cloud helps us to, this simulator helps us to monitor the energy consumption. For example, now you have a mobile phone. Now you have the battery backup and all, but this is consuming more energy. So all the simulation process can be done here. In the cloud environment, we can see that whether the simulator can monitor the energy consumption for different network components such as server, switches, and all those things. So whether it is taking so much of energy or what is the energy process, how much energy it is utilizing during the time interval, everything can be calculated. And you can also say that it's an open source simulator used for friendly GUI, as well as it provides and monitors energy consumption of the entire network and supports the simulation of cloud network components, improves the power management process. Anything you will understand is energy consumption monitor. How it will monitor the consumption of energy, how many server switches and all you are using, what is the energy it is consuming, also things it is going to monitor. And it provides power management schemes, or it improves the power management scheme, as well as allows the user to manage and configure devices dynamically in the simulation. That is a quite common thing. So you feel like the entire network, when you use the green cloud, you feel that the entire network is consuming more energy. So you need to work on that and make sure that the energy consumption is managed. And you can also say that different devices will be connecting. So all those things you need to configure according to that, so that your consumption of energy can be minimized. So that is what these three things. So we have studied the first one is cloud, same. Then cloud sim, second one cloud analyst, and third one is green cloud. So is that clear for you? Any confusion or any doubt is there? So these are the simulation environments. You can say. So these are the cloud simulators. Okay. So is that clear for all of you? So we'll stop it here then. We'll continue next in the next class.